Okay, today we'll talk about the sign is funny, but I am serious, humor as a protest. So we'll discover how they work, the signs, how they work, and what are their impact, and why they are important. So humor is not often the first thing that comes to mind when discussing political resistance. Yet, throughout history, humor has proven to be one of the most effective protest tools. Protest movements use humor for entertain, engaging, critic, and mobilize. A joke, a pun, or a sarcastic sign can travel further than a policy argument, cut more deeply than a political slogan, and linger longer in people's mind. Oppressive regimes, corrupt governments, and systemic injustice all thrives on control and fear. But the second they become a meme, the game changed. Humor distribute traditional power structures, making opposition look ridiculous and rather than fearsome. It forces people to pay attention in a way that traditional protest messaging sometimes cannot. So here, this phrase has appeared in movement of women's rights, racial justice, LGBTQ equity, climate action, and more. It captures exhaustion, frustration, and determination all in one sign, on one sentence. How does the humor in protest sign challenge authority and mobilization communities? It gets attention. Humor cuts through the noise of mass protest, making people stop, read, laugh, and think. It challenges power. Laughter undermines the perceived seriousness or oppressive institutions, making them easier to question. It makes messages memorable, witty, and with protest sign can spread virally across social media, ensuring the movement's longevity. But it's not just about lightening the mood. It's a strategy for subverting authority and strengthening collective resistance. Once a leader becomes the subject of whispered mockery, their legitimacy began to be eroded. With this foundation in mind, let's examine the historical role of humor in protest movement. Humor has been a powerful force in protest movement, serving as a weapon to mock, subvert, and expose power structures. From the satirical plays of ancient Greece, the absurdity from the satirical play of ancient Greece, or the absurdist pranks of modern activities, humor as replicated often itself as a tactic that administrates authority and amplifies disease. So this is Aristophanes. Aristophanes, a playwright, ancient Greece, was one of the first to use comedy as a political protest. In the Clouds, he ridiculed Socrates' philosophy, while Lysistrata managed women, ending the war by refusing to have sex with their soldier husbands. His satire was not just entertainment, but a public critic of Athena politics and war. Later in medieval time, during Carnival, presented would mock kings and church leaders through costume, plays, and parody rituals. Power hierarchies were reversed. Pups were executed, and the Elliot became the subject of public humiliation. Michael Bakhtin described Carnival as a space where laughter bravely dismantled authority, reminding rules that power was never absolute. Jump in time, in response to World War I, the Dada movement emerged, rejecting nationalism, militarism, and the logic of war. In the 1960s, the Youth International Party of EPIS believed humor could dispute power system. One of their most famous stunts occurred in 1967 when they threw dollars bills onto the New York Stock Exchange floor. The sign of broker scrambling for cash exposed Wall Street's obsession with money and undermined its legitimacy. The event became headline news, demonstrating that a joke could embarrass the financial elite and the politicians more effectively than lecture. One of the most widely shared protest sign in recent years reads, this is so bad even inverters are here.
Introverts.
And introverts are here.
Not inverters.
So
Something else.
One of the most widely shared protest sign in recent years, this one. The sign became popular during anti-Trump protest, women's rights marches, and climate strikes. Why it works? It related to people identities. It add humor to serious issue, and it's simple and shareable, making it easy to spread on social media. From ancient Greece to modern digital activism, humor has always been a weapon against oppressions. It works because power relies on fear, and humor takes that fear away. That isn't just coincidence. There is a long history behind why humor is so disruptive and to authority. Michael Bakhtin described how laughter has power to invert social hierarchy. He studied the medieval carnival when kings were mocking, as we saw that. So Bakhtin argued that laughter isn't just entertainment, it's a liberating force. Laughter has the remarkable power of exposing and undermining authority. So he argued laughter isn't entertainment; it's a liberation force that allow people to see a world there where authority isn't absolute, but fragile, ridiculous, and changeable. Because once people start laughing at power, they stop fearing it. So this is the first glance. This seems like nonsense, but it references Matthew Bible passage where Jesus cursed a fig tree for not bearing fruit. This deliberately mocking WBC's tactic of cherry picking scripture to justify their hate, exposing how absurd their argument were. Once followed with signs like God hates signs, making fun of their approach. This precisely what Bakhtin describes, power being inverted through humor. Instead of giving the extremist the confrontation they wanted, protesters turned their ideology into a joke. And the humor, unlike this direct obsession, is hard to argue with. So I wrote a presentation for 30 minutes, but I will shorten it because of the time. So, okay, so here, Freud. In joke, there is a relation to the unconscious. 1905, Sigmund Freud argued that humor is more than just entertainment. It's psychological release valve. Freud said, humor allows us to say that we cannot say otherwise. That's the key. Humor lets people confront uncomfortable truth in a safe, indirect, and enjoyable way. We might not be able to say some things seriously, whether out of fear, social pressure, or political risk, but if we turn them into a joke, suddenly they become easier to voice and harder to suppress. This song became widely shared image during the Women March protest against restrictive abortion laws. It used humor to highlight and underline fear that the government is interfering in reproductive rights. The exaggeration, I'm talking about this one. No. Yeah. I will back to this one. Translated to deep anger into humor instead of aggressive statement. It admires and engaging people. In Freud's term, humor exposed the anxiety that government, institution, and individual often try to repress. Identity is performance that is repeated until it becomes reality. Judith Butler's theories of performative suggests that identity is not fixed, but created through repeated acts, expressions, and behaviors. This appeal to active movement where protest sign and slogan shape how people define themselves and their collective struggles. Humor in protest does more than criticize power. It also constructs the movement's identity. Protesters are not just opposing injustice, they perform resistance in a visible, creative, and engaging way. Sign, slogan, and humor help create a shared identity that others can recognize and rally around. How much time I have? Please?
I think it's time to wrap up.
Okay, so I will go very fast for this signs. You can see, and you can see why they spread a lot around the world. Because humor sustains activism by making resistance unforgettable. And the three keywords: humor, sign, shape, movement. One is turning protest slogan into a global movement, like this. Protester holding like this anti-Trump protest sign played on the famous civil rights anthem, "We will shall overcome," while mocking his infamous hair. Why does it work? It's simple and memorable. It's turned a profound political moment into something shareable. It's adaptable. People can use its different context while still understanding the meaning. So, and this one, so at first it seems like let's pop culture reference, but this sign see a climate protest worldwide delivers a sharp message about the urgency of global warming. So why humor is essential for marginalized voice in protest? Again, this. Okay. Sometimes humor works because it perfectly captures frustration and exhaustion. This sign uses irony to express exhaustion with issues that should already be solved. It resonates across movement, allowing it to be adapted for the different causes, and it's combined humor with anger, making it emotionally compelling while still light enough to go viral. So last one. So this is also from this phrase, highly adapted and used in digital space and street protest. You can ban. This is last. You can stop here with. You can ban a protest, but you can't ban a joke. So thank you.